So we are going to learn how we can create these cool floating icons, and this is actually a pack that I'm going to give away for free. So let me show you what would be available in these floating packs or floating icon bar or whatever it is called. And the thing about this one is that you don't have to use like this one. You could create anything. You could create anything that can be floating on the right, and I'll show you how we can do it. Also, I'm not going to show you how we can make like every single one of them, one of this, because it would take like too much time. I will show how you can make one thing, and if I show you how you can make one thing, you can create any of the other ones. And I'll also show you the last one, which is how you can add like any other anything else around here, where you could click on this toggle button and it will pop up. And it doesn't have to be this black colored one. You could use any one which you wish to show around here. So let me show you what this does. So the first one is a simple one. You could see does nothing. The second one is the border one, like this. And let's say if you want to add an extra one, all you simply need to do is duplicate the third one, and then you got a fifth one. Obviously you could play around with size to make it like smaller. Next is this one, which is with icon box. So if I go around here, you could see I've created it with icon box so that you could just change the text. And the fourth one is similar, but in this one I have actually used like 4 containers for like tab, you could see. And this one just allows you like more customizability rather than with icon box. But let's say if you just wanted to use like this design, then use the icon box version. But if you want more customizability, then use this one. Then I got this one, which is fourth one, which you could see. And some of this require Elementor Pro because we are using custom CSS and JavaScript. So if you don't have Elementor Pro, then use the link in description. But you could also use the free versions too if you don't want to use the Pro version or custom CSS versions. So you could see this is what it does. Then this one is our next one, and you could see I actually have like a note around here. Basically it says that if you try to check this in mobile right now, this live page, it would not work, but because there needs to be a setting. So let me just show you what I mean. So let's say if I close this and then go into my mobile responsive mode, you could see that right now this is looking a bit buggy, right? It just pushes it out, but don't worry, it's just because I haven't made it into a fixed position, else it would have worked pretty nicely, simply because I have like lots of them and I cannot add everything with like the same settings. So this is just in the live page, but if you change the settings, it will automatically work. You could see I've given the settings what you need to do, and all you simply need to do that to make it work on in your mobile version. Then this is the next one, the simple one, like this. Then I have the glowing effect one, like this. I have blur effect one, and the blur effect one, you could see that it is blurring the image behind this thing. Then I got this effect. So for this effect, I'll just show you in this template. You could see it looks like a button, which is like neuromorphism effect. Then this is the next one, a black color version with same design like this, and the toggle button one, which is obviously this one. And the best part is these are all responsive. So if I go like this, you could see it changes to like bottom version like this. But if you want to keep it on right, you could keep it on right. This is how it looks. So you could decide which one to use or create your own version. I'll show you how we can create our own version. So I'll just open my new page like this, and I'll also show you how you can just create one and then show it on your whole website, because right now it is only showing on this page. So you need to also show it on your whole website, and you don't want to copy paste it in every single one manually. So I'll show it at the end of the video. So it's very simple to do. All you simply need to do is create your a container. So it doesn't matter if you create a container around here. I'll just create it for like basic showcase. So first you will do is you will create your small container in which your elements would be. You don't need to do like these settings, by the way. You just need to work on this one. I'm just doing it to showcase. So let's keep it full width. Instead of percentage, I'll use pixel and then make it, I guess, like 130. You could just play around with values to find something that works. Then I'll do icon, place it there, and here you could see I already got my icon around here. I'll choose like my home icon, press enter, select, make it black color, or I'll make it white so that we could see what we are doing in the background. So I'll just make this one like black color, so you could see. And right now our container has a padding of 10 by default, so we'll remove this so that our container is having no padding. And this one, which is our icon, I'll just make it, I guess, 35. You could play around with values to find it. And then I'll add some padding, so let's do like 50, or let's do 30. Maybe 30 is okay, so let's just reduce around here to match or make it square. So 120 looks like a square, or we could even go like lower, like 10, 100, and then this looks better. And currently if I like remove this 0, you could see that this is how our, maybe if I make this 0 for now, you could see that this pink border should be covering the complete area. So let's just make it 30 again, and then remove this padding like this. And because this pink area is covering this whole area, it is clickable completely. So every pink color is clickable. So simply just go into here and add your link, and it would be clickable. So all we simply need to do is click duplicate. Make sure this is set to like top to bottom, and you could see how this looks. But again, the another issue you could see that there's some spacing around here. So we'll click on the container, and then make it 0 so that there's no spacing between them, and then give it a new icon. So let's see, like address, or again map or something. Let's duplicate it and then call it like say phone, and let's duplicate this one and then call it something like email. So for envelope we will search, and then this is our email. And right now this is like way too big, so I'll just play around with values so you find something that works nicely. And another thing that you might notice is that there's a bit more spacing below this icon. So maybe it is not visible like this, but I hope this is visible right now. But you could see there's some spacing below this, but there's no spacing above this. If I remove the padding, you could see it, and that is because Elementor adds like some spacing below this manually. So all we simply need to do is use custom CSS to like remove it, and let me show you how we can do that. So if I just, okay, I have added it in this container, so let me just copy this. What I'm going to do is in this container I'll just add an HTML widget. This would also work for free version, okay, so no worries. Just type style, copy this code, and right now what we are doing is we are going to give this icons -5 margin from the below, and we need to first copy this, which is called floating bar DM, add this to this container, and you could see it suddenly shrinked. So if I, let's say, remove this and made it 0, you could see that there's no spacing. And obviously if you want to increase, you could increase it. So you could see there's some spacing below still, but if you wish to, you could like play around with values. So right now you could see it's not there for this one because the icon is different. So you could play around with the code that I've given, which is like -5, and then decrease it with however you want. And the reason why I've given this to container is that any icon that you add into this would get like compressed. The margin would be removed at the bottom. So this HTML widget, I'll just simply just make it hidden because there's no reason to showcase. The code will still work. If you want to give some padding on left and right, we could do is we could make it, let's say, 15 on the left, and then this is left, and this is, I guess, top. And now we got this border. I'll also add some animation to this. So right now our icon color is controlled by this, right? You could see. So I'll simply do is select this one, go into my background, and I'll give this, let's say, a color. Let's do red. And then in the hover version, I can make it like more red, something like this, or maybe, you know, like this. We can completely remove the color in the background so that it is like based on this one. So you see, and then we got our animation ready like this. Next, I'll make sure that it is working. Well, first, before that, let's just show you how we can add it at the right center. And this is what you have to just do this one setting for any icon that you create. So we'll go into position, and then choose fixed like this, make it right. I'll make it go bottom like this. Make sure we give it some z index so that it's top on top of everything. So I'll just do 9999, something like this, so that it's top on everything. And from the bottom we could give some distance, so we could go 50 pixel, or we could also work with percentage like this. And then I'll just do like some random percentage above like this. And right now you could see our floating icon works, and all of this has an link. But again, we still need to do some stuff. So first of all, let's go to the tablet, and in this one I'll keep it like this for the tablet, but if you want, you could also like reduce it a bit, like 20. Let's do like 20. Let's do 20, and let's do 20, and then make it, I guess, like 80, so that it is a bit smaller. And for mobile version, what I'll do is I'll make it go from left to right like this, and all of these elements I'll just give it grow so that they stretch to the container size. So you could see if I do grow, they like just stretch it manually. And then we will select this one, go into our offset, and I'll just make it be 0 at the bottom. And don't worry if this is showing, because we have actually set it to hidden, so it will just go at the bottom. Next thing is, if we go into our border, we need to make sure these are on the top 15 and then right 15. So you could see that it is not visible, and I exactly know why. So if we go around here, you could see it is not visible, simply because we used we added like a border around here. And the thing is, it is covering all of this stuff. So even though you add a border to your container, it will still not work. So let's just add a border to the first one rather than going there. Let's add it like 15 on the left, and in the bottom version we will add 15 at the left like this. You could see now it works. And then let's keep it like 100%, and then make sure this one is set to left, and this one we will play around with it, and then make this 0 and make it 15 on the right. And you could see we got our bottom one like this. And for a border line, all we simply need to go is click on the icon, go into border, go into solid for the first one like this, go into solid. Maybe we don't do it on the first one, we do it on the second one. Let's add solid, and then add top and bottom with, let's say, a dark red color like this. Let's copy this, go into the third one, click border, and this one we will only give it bottom, because in this one we gave it to top and bottom, right? So we don't need to give this one at top again. So this one we will just add one around here and then give it. And you could see we got our border, and simply we can just duplicate this, and then that's all we need to do. And you could see it just works. Right now it is set to grow, so it is not having enough space. So you will need to play around with values and make this like smaller. Right now it is not working because this one, I feel like we can just place, or we could do no wrap, but you will need to play around with some padding and all to make sure this one does not do all this stuff. You see, just play around with it and make sure these are like small enough and not like too high for mobile version. Let's remove this one, let's do delete, and we got our floating icon ready with all the links working. And all we simply need to do is make it fixed, and then you're done. You could see we have just done fixed, and you could add any element that you want around here to create floating icons. But how about now I'm not going to show you how you can create like every single one of this. These are like, basically you will need to learn Elementor for every single one of this. So you could basically just copy whichever you want. And again, in this one you could see there's like some empty spacing, right? You could just copy this container and then paste it like some in like your random versions like this, and remove this one. Maybe I didn't copy the full container. There we go. How do I select this one? There it is. Copy. Why do we have two around here? Okay, there we go. Let's copy this one and paste it in here, and let's delete this one. And you could see now there's no space, but again we want this to be like showing everywhere. And also before that, let me show you that if you want to just use any one of this, all you simply need to do is copy this one to wherever you want to like show. If you only want it in a single page, you could copy it in that page. But if you want to showcase it in whole website, you will need to use a plugin, and sadly there's no other option except if you know to use if you know how you can use like child theme. If you know how you can use the child theme, you could do it, but I don't like to use child theme because it's just easier to use this plugin. Okay, so I'll show you how to do it, but before that, let's just learn how we can create this icon button. Okay, this one, which is the toggle button. So what I'm simply going to do is I'm going to like copy this one, which is called universal toggle, copy this one and then paste it in, let's say, around here. Not like this, paste from other side and control V. This is a template, so maybe you might not need to do like paste from other side unless you paste it in your site and you are working on your client side, then you could do the paste from other side. Basically what I like to do is I just create like these pages on my personal website, and whenever I have clients work, I just copy the container from my site and do like paste from other side, and it just works. So you can see I have actually copied this one. So maybe we just choose this container. Where is it? So what I'm simply going to do is I'm going to hide my this floating icon that I just created. I'll just make it like not be position fixed right now. So now it is at top like this. Now we have copied the universal toggle around here, right? And the way this works is simply let's just go in here. One important thing I forgot to tell you for the templates, right? That you have to remove the margin for some elements. So let's say in this one, if you are going to copy it to your website, I've added margin around here. So you see that there's some margin around here. You need to make it 0 and then make it position fixed. So that way it's the only way it will work, you see, else it would be like very hidden. So make sure you remove the margin and then do position fixed. I couldn't do that. I cannot show like position fixed because all of them would be like top of each other, which is why I just used like an illusion that it is on the right side. Now in this one, universal toggle, we have a toggle bar, you could see. And the thing about this one is in the toggle bar, which has this CSS, you could add anything that you want. So it doesn't have to be what I've used. So this one, sorry, in toggle button, you could create anything. Before that, let's just go around here, and then in the toggle bar, we will make this default. Right now I've used absolute, but you will need to just change it to fixed. So let's just remove it and make it default so that we can just check it and work on it before we do anything. Let's just make it a bit bigger like this. Okay, so now in this container, in the universal toggle, all you simply need to do is you need to copy this one and then paste. You don't really need to use this one, but in the toggle bar, we have toggle button, and then we have an HTML, which has a code for this click button. We have a heading, which also has a CSS, which like makes it like go like this way. Or you could simply just use an image instead of using a text around here. And then we have a bar 14. And the thing about bar 14, it is like 150 pixels right now, and everything else is like basic. There's nothing else. It's simple stuff, which is like I just did copy and then pasted it after like in this one, which is like toggle bar. If I let's say paste my new button, you could see it is just showing now. So let's just hide the bar. Let's just delete the bar 14 and then use the one that we have created right now. Okay, I'm going to remove the padding on the left and right for these ones. So I'll remove this border, and then maybe I'll keep the bottom one. Why not? So this is how it looks right now. In the toggle bar, which is like this complete, this one, you could see the pink border. The toggle button is 50 pixels and our container right now is 100 pixels. So we know that this is like, this one is 50, this is 100. So this much is like 150. So we can just make this one to 150. You see, right now it was 200 because we were using like different container. but I'll just make it like 150. And you see this is how it looks. And you could add like any floating bar that you want on the right side like this. Just copy and paste it in like this toggle bar on the right side like this. And next thing that you need to do is you need to select the toggle bar, go into advanced, go into position, go into fixed, and right now you could see it just disappeared. Let's just like play around with values. So we know this is 100 and this is like 50, right? So we just need to do 100 because we want this to show. If we do like let me just make it, so this one is like 100 and this one is 50 because we have set it in the settings. You could see, and this one is 50, so which is why we made our whole container be like, where is it, 150. So toggle button 50, container 100, together they are 150. So we simply know that we only need to hide this one. So all we simply need to do, select this, go into here and then make it -100. If you are confused with what value to use around here, you could just play around with around here to make sure it works. You don't need to like calculate. And now if I just do update, you can see it will not actually work. So let me go into preview page and show you why it does not work. You could see it's going way too much because in this one, the container that we are using is actually like much bigger. You could see the container is much bigger, so the animation is also bigger. You could see. So what we simply need to do right now is go into my toggle button. Yes, the HTML. I'll just copy this one and show you in Notepad so that we could check it in a bigger screen. So this style tab is basically CSS to make the toggle text around here just rotate to 90 degree. So the main thing that we are going to work is on our JavaScript, and it's pretty simple. Even if you don't understand, it's okay. I'll just show you what values you need to change. So let's just ignore every single thing from here. Let's go around here. Okay. So you could see it's / desktop around here, and we have set the translate X to be 150 pixel. So what we are simply doing is when we click on it, we are just moving our floating bar to the left in 150 pixels. And right now we don't want to do that. So how much we need to do? We just need to do 100. And the easiest way to know what you need to do is if you go into your toggle bar, you need to just make this one, let's say 0, and this is how much we want, right? So whichever value you have used around here, which is 100, you just need to paste it around here. And then and here you could see we have for tablet and mobile. And why there is like different values for tablet and mobile? Simply because you might make the you might make the icon smaller in the tablet or in mobile. So for each one you should have like different values, and make sure you add it around here too. So this one is -100, -100, -100, and this one is also same. This one is basically when someone like resizes the window. So by doing stuff like this and then resizes it, it should still work. So make sure whatever value that you want around here, it should be shown around here. So let's just copy this one, make it let's go into HTML and copy this one. So just remember this value, this value, this value, this value, this value, this value needs to be changed. This one is for mobile. I've even like added some comments around here. You could see in the tablet, this is tablet. For desktop, this is desktop. Now if I refresh this page, you could see it just works perfectly right now. I don't know why this is showing here. So let's just delete this one. Let's update. Also, let's just make it like look good. So in the toggle bar, we will go here. We will make it go at the bottom, choose some percentage like this, maybe keep it like this. And right now this container, we can just like make it 0 for time being. And then you could see it works perfectly. But now we will see how we can simply just make it show it in your whole website rather than having to copy paste it every single page. And also one more thing before that, if I go into my responsive mode and then go in here, sometimes you will not be able to, let's say, edit it, right? So you will just make it like say default and then edit it. Then again, once you're done, make it fixed. And again, if you, let's say, went around here and then reduced the size. So let's say if you reduced it like 10, let's say you make it 10, let's make this one 10, again let's make this 10, and let's make this, let's say 25, 25, 25 and 25. This is just for like testing purposes to show you guys. So you could see this is how it looks. So if I right now go in here, and let's say if I make this container smaller, so now you could see that in our desktop version we have used like 100 pixels of width. In our tablet version we have used 80 pixels of width. So obviously if I, let's say, choose this container which is now 50 and this one is like 80, it's not being completely full, you could see. So what is 80 plus 50? 130. So we simply will change the main container to be 130. So you see, every time I change the size of the toggle button and change the size of the container, I plus this size and add it in my toggle bar like this, and then simply go into my fixed like this on the right side, and you could see right now it's going too much on the right, and the reason is because right now this should not be at this much -100, it should be at -80. You could see right now it is perfect. But now another thing is we also need to make sure that when we click on it in a tablet, it shouldn't move left at the it shouldn't move left at 100 pixels. You could see for tablet. So we will simply just change this to -80, and we will change this to -80, so that when someone clicks on a tablet, it moves it to the left -80, simply because the size of this one, this container is 80 pixels. So to give you a simplest easy explanation to like quickly change it, let me just select this one, my toggle bar, go into default like this. Okay, very quickly 30-second explanation. So the second container is 100, the first container is 50, so the plus of this should be added in this container which is like 150, you could see. And whatever container size of is this one which is 100 pixel, all you simply need to go is in your toggle bar, go into your position, click fixed, and add whatever size you have added to the container which is 100 pixels. So which is why it goes to the right at 100 pixels. Now whatever size you have used around here should be added in this section. So for desktop we have used 100 pixels, for tablet we have used 80 pixels, 80 pixels. So it's very easy, we are just making sure that the pixels movement is like perfectly to whatever the size of our floating widget is. But now let's just go into how we can show it to our whole website. So now to show it to your whole website, so that's multiple ways, okay? Not for everything, but simply because why is there so much horns? It's quite annoying. Every video there's like horns because of traffic near my house. So what we actually do to use it is we simply create a template. Now if you don't have Elementor Pro, for example, in this one I have Elementor Pro, in this one I haven't installed it. But I'm also using OceanWP plugin. So if I go into my library, sorry, not plugin, theme, but let's say if you're using any other theme, you will need to go into plugins, add new, and install a plugin called Anywhere Elementor. If you have Elementor Pro, you don't need to do this, which is why I suggest getting Elementor Pro from link in description, because you have to use like less plugins. Now once you have installed Anywhere Elementor like this, let's just refresh it. It would open new page like this and click add new, sorry, all pages. And the reason why we are using this method is because we want to use a shortcode, so that we can just add this shortcode to our whole website via PHP, which you don't need to understand. I also don't understand, but it's very easy to like add the shortcode in our whole website. If you have Elementor Pro, you will do is you will go to your dashboard, and then you will go into your, where is it? You will go into your templates like this, save templates, and then you could see one thing is that whenever we create a template, we get a shortcode. And the part about shortcode is wherever we add the shortcode, this page would be shown or this post would be shown. So when you don't have Elementor Pro, you could use this plugin called Anywhere Elementor, which adds that feature. But if you are using OceanWP theme, it also has that same option in like my library, you could see. So in my library, you could say it also adds this shortcut. So depending on where you use, it's the same process, you just need the shortcode. Okay, so I'll just use my OceanWP. Let's click edit with Elementor like this. So this will open a page, and what I'm going to do is we will copy this universal toggle, this one. So let me just like make this way. Let's just make everything like default for time being. Let's do default. Let's just copy this one and paste it in our page like this. So right now we have a page, and then we just simply need to, let's remove the toggle bar that I've added previously. So in the toggle bar, all you simply need to do is make this toggle bar have the same settings that you did in the previously, which is default. So you could say it's around here, and now this one actually has like, so let's say if I add like my shortcode, this would actually add this space around here. So what you could simply do is you could select this container, make this 0, and then make the padding 0. So basically it does not exist right now because there's like no space around here. Instead of that, I'll do is I don't know, I'm being dumb. So basically just copy this one and paste it around here rather than using the whole container. So you could see we just need to use this toggle bar rather than using the whole container, my bad. So that way we don't need to do the step where we do 0 stuff. And then let's just update it. Let's go to your library. So whichever you are using, if you are using anywhere Elementor, go to that one where it will show the shortcode. I'm using OceanWP theme, so I'll use this one. If you are using Elementor, then use that shortcode. Now we will copy this code and then we will use another plugin, or you could use child theme. Okay, and don't worry, this is like good plugins, so these are not like bad plugins. So we'll use WP code. You can say 2+ million active installation, which WP code. Now you could use child theme, but the issue is child theme is like hard to manage rather than using like WP code for like smaller stuff like this. And when you add WP code, you could go into your code snippet, go to code snippet like this. I'll just remove this one. And you could see I've already added it, but I'll make a new one like this. Click add new, add your custom snippet. And this is why I like this plugin, because you could just, you could just disable it if it does some bugs. I'll just call it like floating bar for time being. And in this one, we'll switch to PHP. And let me show you guys the code that we are going to add. So you could see we are simply going to use this code, which is echo to shortcode. Let me just paste it for time being. So we will do echo code like this. And in this one, between this quotation, we will just add our shortcode. And what this will do is it will just run this shortcode to your whole website. So I'll do auto insert, and I'll do it in site-wide body. I think that's good. Site-wide body works. Let's do save snippet. Now let's refresh the page. And you could see it is added around here. I can just delete this one, universal toggle. Let's update it. And you could see right now our toggle button is added, the one that we just created, to our whole website. So you could see no matter where I go, even on WooCommerce pages, it still shows my shortcode. You could see, and the best part is you simply need to go to wherever you have created your template, which is, for me, it is my library. You just need to edit it around here with Elementor, and whenever you do the changes, it will show to the whole page. So I hope this tutorial was not too big. It's just a bit harder to explain if you're not used to it. But yeah, thanks for watching, and make sure you like and subscribe, and use the link in description to get Elementor Pro or any other products. And also this one would be available in my template. So if you go to my website, which is DMmotionarts.com, you can see I actually have lots of products around here. And even if you go into my blogs, I have like lots of cool stuff around here for Elementor. You could see gradient borders, remote arrows, so you could bookmark this website or not whenever you want to. Let's just say go to my website and then get the code. So you could see you could simply go around here and then copy the code pretty quickly, so whenever you are trying to work on client's website. So yeah, thanks for watching, and yeah, like and subscribe, share it, and goodbye.